Well, it looks like we're not getting that Prince of Persia Sands of Time remake after all.
Oh no! What happened? Oh no! How terrible! That's just awful! How terrible! Oh no!
Sounds like Ubisoft made a couple of bad decisions. The creators of Rayman making bad choices that led to developers leaving to start their own studio and create one of the best games of the decade.
Nah.
Anywho, with the Sands of Time remake getting canned, I guess we're just stuck with the original. But is that such a bad thing? Today we find out with the original Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time. I borrowed a copy off my schoolmate in my teens, and I remember liking it, but I never finished it. But I got my own copy on PS2, played it, finished it, and now I want to chat about it. So turn that hourglass. It's game time. Prince of Persia Sands of Time is an action-adventure game where you take control of the Prince of Persia.
Yeah, no shit.
He doesn't have a name, alright. And the first thing you do in the game is sneak into a woman's bedroom. You know what? I just remembered I gotta start a random bonfire in my back garden. I'll be right back. With the story being told by the prince, him and his father's army attack a city in India where the prince steals an ancient artifact, the Dagger of Time. After taking it and the Maharaja's daughter, Farah, back to the Sultan of Assad's palace, the vizier convinces the prince to release the Sands of Time. What could go wrong, right? Everything. The sand turns almost everyone in the palace, including his father, into monsters.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
So now you, accompanied by Farah, have to set things right and make your way through the palace and steal the Sands of Time. Now, the way the game presents the story is very interesting. It tells you everything you need to know and just sends you on your way. You do get a couple of cinematic cutscenes and some in-game cutscenes too to set up the objective of the game at the beginning. And you really don't get anything else until the last third of the game, meaning any sense of story progression in that time is between the prince and Farah. But I wasn't bothered by that. I thought the prince and Farah had really good chemistry and worked off each other with really good banter and dug into one another at the beginning. They don't really see eye to eye. Well, she was kidnapped to be fair, but as the journey goes on, they open up to one another and realise they both want the same thing. When the prince looks into the future, normally it gives hints on how to progress, but then he starts to see visions of Farah, meaning there could be some deeper connection between them, but also some distrust there. Did Farah want the dagger for herself, or did she think that the prince would not go through with what they agreed on? It's something that will keep you guessing until the end. The vizier, on the other hand, doesn't get much screen time to do his bad guy stuff, and just comes off as a standard deceptive evil old man who wants immortality. He's basically George Soros, and is more or less the only boss in the game, and it's a bit lackluster if I'm honest. But I think everything else makes up for it. The voice acting is really good. The prince is voiced by Yuri Lowenthal, probably best known for voicing Spider-Man in the Insomniac games, who portrays the young and arrogant but determined prince, and adds hilarity in moments where he overthinks everything. And like I mentioned before, he narrates the story as the prince, and he does come off as a natural storyteller. It's calm, but adventurous and captivating at the same time.
The fabled menagerie of Azad, the Sultan's pride and joy. It had been one of the wonders of the world. As a child, I dreamed of it and longed to see it with my own eyes. Now it was a place of terror, an abandoned ruin laid waste by the sands of time.
Also, he reacts when you pause and unpause the game too.
Now, where was I?
Oh yes, I was my pants at the time. Joanna Wuzak is great as Farah too, coming off quite nicely as understanding, but also someone who won't take
You don't understand. I need that dagger to undo.
To undo what I have done. Truly you must think I'm a fool.
You are right to be cautious. But fight as bravely as you may, you cannot defeat this enemy. The sands will spread. They will consume everything.
The only voice acting I didn't like was early on in the game, during a very clever puzzle section. And this guy, or servant, or whoever the he just shouts at you constantly, in a voice I can only describe as a toad holding in a massive turd.
Thank God! I was afraid you were one of them! Can you help me activate the Azad defense system?
And he doesn't stop. Whether you do something right or wrong, he won't let you just get on with it, and won't shut the up.
That's it! You've got the first axle! Now, pick up the other three! Remember, pay attention to the grooves! Not yet! You need to pick up all 4 axles! them up to the top. That's 4! Now, bring them up to the top and line them up.
Shut the fuck up!
Oh, thank for that. All in all, what they did with the story here is not a bad thing in my opinion, because the gameplay is where the Sands of Time really delivers. Traversing these levels is a hell of a lot of fun and so satisfying. Can't make the jump? You can wall run instead. You also have to climb and walk along ledges, shimmy up support beams, swing on poles to clear obstacles, and you'll be doing this for the majority of the game. And at no point did it ever feel tedious or repetitive, because the game keeps you on your toes, making you figure out where to go next, factoring it in as part of the puzzle solving. Having you reach a pressure pad on a wall, or have you pull down a lever, like the mirror puzzle later on in the game, where you're not only trying to figure out the correct alignment, but how to get to the mirror too, and not just how to climb up, but to climb down. Because this game is unforgiving when it comes to fall damage, and there are a lot of traps you need to avoid here too, and can also be unforgiving. The trick is to watch carefully and not hesitate, and just keep moving, otherwise you will be cut to ribbons. Very intense stuff, but it kicks ass, and it flows so nicely, and the controls are very responsive. And for a 23-year-old game, this aged very well and still feels so modern. Honestly, it's excellent. The same can be said for the combat too. If I could compare it to anything, it would be the Batman Arkham games, and I mean that as a compliment. In fact, I think the Sands of Time may have inspired it in some way, because the combat is free-flowing too, and is so smooth and so impactful as well, while also being easy to pick up too. You can smoothly switch enemies to attack with just the analog stick and perform maneuvers with the jump button, like jumping over enemies and striking them to knock them over. Then finishing them off with the Dagger of Time is very satisfying, and this was the maneuver I mostly used at first, because it was the most fun and reliable way to take them out. But as you progress, different enemies will start blocking that, so you have to change up your strategy, like jumping off the walls instead. I love this, it adds an extra challenge and stops combat from growing stale. And the Prince's movement animations is fantastic too. He spins, flips and jumps so fluidly and feels so natural. You move like a swan on water, darling, oh yes. But sometimes I accidentally put my sword away, but I find it funny that Farah would berate me for this.
Why did you put your sword away?
Because sometimes my palms get sweaty. Mother's spaghetti. Speaking of Farah, she will give you a hand with her bow, and it can stun enemies and give you a chance to strike, but the monsters will go after her too, and I mean damn, who wouldn't? But seriously though, you need to protect her, otherwise it's game over. But I will say, this game never felt like an escort mission. She never got in the way or wasn't annoying, unlike some people.
Shut the fuck up.
And the enemies do come in all shapes and sizes. Big, small, and some can hit harder whilst others move faster. And some uncomfortably like to show off more skin, like these concubines.
That's nasty.
But there is a nice variety here, and again, it's like a puzzle in itself, trying to figure out how to take them down. Great stuff here. And there are also scarabs, but they're not really a threat if I'm honest. But these birds are bastards. They mostly show up when you're trying to balance on a beam, and if they hit you, you will end up falling. But you can use your sword. You just got to time it right and hit them before they hit you. So it's still good. You can also recover health by drinking water from water fountains or from any ankle-high stream of water. Water flows, pools and bathhouses. The bath one I find to be the most unsanitary.
There's something glowing up there. I saw it from the ledge.
I felt a lump in that one.
Diarrhea.
You can also extend your health by finding magic fountains hidden around the palace. You're gonna need them, so be on the lookout for them. And now we come to the game's biggest gimmick, being able to control time. And this is both the icing and the cherry on top of the cake. Using the Dagger of Time, you can rewind time, and this is very useful for the many missteps that you are going to take in this game. It's such a cool way to learn from your mistakes. There is a limit on how much you can do this though, so I suggest you make sure you correct your mistake on the second go, because these can run out quicker than you realise. But you can extend your sand slots by finding piles of sand, and can replenish them by defeating enemies. You can use the dagger to freeze them in time, then finishing them off with a couple of slashes. I found this very useful when I was being overwhelmed. The ability I didn't find useful was slowing down time, because when I used it, I slowed down with it too, so I didn't think I could use it for anything. But in saying that, I really love this mechanic. It's just so much fun.
It's so much fun.
So much fun.
So much fun.
So much fun.
But it's so good in fact that when they took it away going into the end game, I really missed it, and how much I messed up on the final stretch really proved how much I relied on it. Honestly, almost every time I fell to my death, I pressed the R1 button hoping to go back, and it didn't. Is this what it feels like to go through withdrawal symptoms? I think I need help. Hello? Hello, I've been playing Prince of Persia Sands of Time and... No, you're fine. Now piss off. There was one bit in the game I thought was unnecessary, where you have to go through doors in the correct order, and I found this very annoying, and it really slowed the game down, when all I wanted to do was get back into the action, and it was all just for a cinematic cutscene, where the Prince and Pharaoh get jiggy with it. No. I'd rather they just went straight to that than them putting in a memory puzzle. But back to the positives. For a game that's over 2 decades old, this game is stunning. They got the details of a 9th century West Asian palace to a T. The brickwork, the curtains, carpets and massive windows with lights coming through them. It all looks amazing and has its own identity and hazards to cross. And on top of that, this game is huge. You'd think that this palace was big from the outside.
Which it is.
It's very intimidating considering what point you have to reach. But on the inside, these rooms are massive. It's so impressive how much they managed to fit in here. And the other thing is, I don't think I encountered any loading screens. Apart from loading up the game or cutscenes of course. But yeah, I didn't see any. And considering the size of the level design, I would have expected loads. But honestly, I'm blown away by this. And again, it's over 20 years old. And finally, the soundtrack is pretty good. It sets the tone for a West Asian adventure, and during combat, it adds a hard rock tweak that makes every encounter feel even more badass. So what more is there to say? Prince of Persia The Sands of Time is a fantastic game. Even though I think the game is a bit light on story, it's not an issue because it gets you straight into the action, with level traversal, combat and time-bending mechanics all being superb, with graphics that are smashing, even with the game's massive level design. And it feels so modern, even for a game that was released in 2003. This game is the definition of a blockbuster, and honestly, I can't recommend it enough. I know it's got a HD remaster on PS3, so for some of you it might be worth getting that, but if you have a working PS2 like I do, you can get this for under a £5, or get it on Steam on your PC. They are always doing deals. The reason why I say that is because other ports can be a bit pricier, but I'll leave that down to you, because either way, you'll get a great game out of it. Also, I have the game's sequel, Warrior Within, so I'll be definitely taking a look at that in the future. Am I disappointed about the remake? Yes, but am I sad about it? Not at all. When you've got something this good already, what's there to be sad about? But believe me, even though this game is a couple of decades old, this game really stood the test of time. And those are my thoughts on the Prince of Persia The Sands of Time. But what do you guys think? Are you gutted about the remake? Or do you just not care? Do you agree with my views? Do you disagree with my views? Comment down below and let me know, because I would really love to know. And that's about everything for today, my friends, and thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like what you saw, be sure to like, share and subscribe, hit that bell for notifications, and follow me on Facebook, X and Instagram. I've been Titch, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.